regular business meeting of the Board of Education to order. Can you please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Through the consent vote agenda, and all listed there. The Program and Personnel Committee will give their report. The Facilities and Finance Committee will give their report. And then if there's a report from the Property Committee, the Special Education District Lake County Committee, or delegate, or the Illinois Association of School Boards, then we will convene into executive session. And after we come back from executive session, we will have adjournment. There will be no business following the executive session. Okay. All right. I just want to note, too, that when we get to item 2D6, under the Superintendent's Report, that may be deferred until after the executive closed session if any board members feel like they want to review or discuss any of the items in that during closed session. Okay. So first off tonight, we have an educational presentation. Great.
Well, good evening. Good to see all of you this evening. And we have a very special recognition of one of our staff members at Vernon Hills High School tonight, from the Illinois, who's the Illinois Director of Student Activities Award recipient for this year. Congratulations to VHHS Student Activities Director Debbie Beagle for winning the Activity Director of the Year Award from the Illinois Directors of Student Activities, or IDSA. The Activity Director of the Year Award recognizes activity directors who have made exemplary and consistent contributions to the development and implementation of their high school student activity programs. This recognition is designed both to honor outstanding members in the student activities domain and to promote awareness of the quality of student activity clubs, programs, and events being provided in Illinois high schools. The IDSA is a committee that involves student activity directors from all over the state of Illinois. The members put great effort towards searching for amazing, dynamic, creative leaders to be saluted and recognized at the 2011 Annual Awards Banquet and Convention. To be recognized and supported by your students and peers is the ultimate compliment in the profession of education. Your contributions have proven that you are a skilled and dedicated individual that plays an active role in promoting the culture and climate of our school community. Please join me in celebrating the success of VHHS Student Activities Director, Debbie Beagle. Debbie, would you stand up, and we have a certificate for you? Debbie, you want to say anything? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Put me on the spot. I just want to say that it's been a great couple years, and I enjoy working with the IDSA board. I learned a lot, and we can bring that back to the students here at Vernon Hills. We've tried a lot of new creative things. Sometimes they may drive Dr. Swick crazy with some of my ideas, but they're coming from the kids. So, and I've been president of the IDSA for the past 2 years. And you can see the tears in my eyes as I pass that reign over to Jen Paul at LHS. So she is now the president. So we're a great team, and we enjoy working well together. So thank you.
Ellen, I know you'd like to add something.
Well, we were just really excited when Deb got this award, and it's very well deserved, and she just does a great job with our kids. She really just lets the kids come forward with the ideas and is always about trying to make those things happen for kids, and she just has really raised our student activities program to one of the top programs in the state along with LHS. And I really think the two schools really work well together in working together with all the student activities that they have to put on. So congratulations to Deb.
Just to underscore one more thing that Deb indicated there. She has been the president of ISDA and IDSA, and directly following her will be Jen Paul over at Libertyville High School. So, Deb, those are 2-year terms, right, if I remember?
Yes.
Okay, so for 4 years, IDSA will be led by somebody from District 128, which I think is a great testament to both of you and how the two of you work together. So again, congratulations, and we'll be looking forward to great things from Deb or Jen in that role as well. So great job, Deb.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to go on and hear from our student board representatives. I don't know who wants to go first tonight, but okay, Kate.
Hello. So, on December 15th, we had our annual adoptive family, which means each third period class provides gifts for one family from the Maristella program in Libertyville. And we had over 90 volunteers who volunteered in the areas of games, music, food, greeting, and etc. And there were lots of laughs and memories that were made for both the students of Vernon Hills High School and the staff, and also the families of Maristella. And I love that our community got together to help each other out locally. And then the next week we had the holiday concert where the choirs and the orchestras and alumni came together to sing and play on one stage. So I thought that was really special, coming together with people who have graduated, and seeing the amount of people in the audience and also on stage for the Hallelujah chorus really showed me that people really do appreciate their time here at Vernon Hills High School and are thankful and just want to come back. Our Backlight Theater Company went to the Illinois High School Theater Festival, and where many of the members noted that our production of The Mystery of Edwin Drood was still better than those who were selected to perform at the festival, but I think it was still a very educational and fun experience for everybody. We also had our first semester finals, and this year we did something new. We had a study session at Aspen Drive Library held by the faculty, and there was food there, so I think that was a very comforting thing for the freshmen who are really nervous about taking their first finals. Students in the business department with Mr. Crevier and Mrs. Richards visited Equity Group, which is a digital marketing firm in Chicago, and all day they worked on developing a marketing campaign for safe teen driving. And at the end of the day, they were able to present their plans to the Equity Group executives, and so that was a really rewarding experience for them, and they were able to work hands-on. This past Sunday, Varsity Poms won first in the 2A Open Pom and Dance divisions, and they were also the Prairie Division champions at the Wakanda competition. And the JV team also won the JV North Suburban Conference Prairie Division championships, and were second in the Open Pom and Dance divisions. The boys bowling team also had two very good news, and first they went undefeated in the conference play and won the conference title. And for the 7th year in a row, they qualified for the state championship because they finished second at sectionals this past weekend. So we had a lot of awesome accomplishments for our sports department and fun things in first class and also in the fine arts.
Great, thanks, Kate. And who are we going to hear from tonight?
Okay, well, you're going to hear from both of us.
Okay, great.
But first semester is now done, and finals went well, especially for us seniors who didn't have to take too many, which was a nice reward for working hard. FBLA, Libertyville FBLA, and along with Vernon Hills, had the area competition this past weekend. And I think we had 17 members from our club participate, and all of them placed in the top 10 for their events that they did, which was really great. And following area is state, which will be held the last weekend of spring break. Special Olympics, there's 7 students from District 128 that qualified for the state tournament, and it was really nice to see. I have gym class with them, so they all brought their medals as show and tell, so they were really proud of that. And state is coming up shortly in Bloomington. And then this past Saturday, boys basketball was their senior night, and they had a thrilling overtime win against Carmel, which was pretty awesome. And then we've been using Google Docs all semester, but teachers are finally starting to like get the grasp of it and then give it to us, which is, it's an amazing thing. Like, to switch, I know my French teacher had to switch his whole website onto Google Docs, which took some time. But now that it's on Google Docs, it's really a phenomenal thing. And, you know, I'll definitely use that when I go to college. But it's a great thing that we started for sure.
Also, the LHS Jazz Band competed at the North Shore Festival, which is at Glenbrook South, and we placed third, which was okay. But and then we also have an orchestra trip coming up down to Illinois Wesleyan and U of I to perform for a clinician and get some feedback. That's going to be next weekend. And then also we had to take a bullying survey in our gym classes, and some teachers also went down to DePaul this past Friday to a bullying workshop, if you will, and they were talking about how it's going to become a more important thing in our school to start focusing on that, because they want to make it obviously a safe place for everyone to learn. And so I guess they're starting to focus more on the bullied rather than the bullies, because they say it's going to happen no matter what, so that they're trying to look for programs and things to help people who are bullied in a positive way to respond to that. So that's just something to be looking out for in future years. And then also, there's been some consensus among seniors and my fellow classmates that the road NHS has been taking, National Honor Society has been taking in the past few years, is not quite fulfilling the needs of students and the community as it could be, because it's starting to become, it's a service organization, but it's so limited in how we can participate in the community that it's not, well, for example, like musicians will go and they'll play volunteer at a church, and this past weekend we actually did that with a combo, and the pastor got up and his wife, they started dancing. They said we played a song that was at their wedding, and they started crying, and it was great. And so we felt like we were doing great by providing music for a fundraiser for, they were sending down 10 people to help rebuild things in New Orleans. So we played some New Orleans jazz and everything and helped them, and they had a great time, and a lot of people said we made their night. But we couldn't use that as NHS service hours. So it's very specific where everyone has to be on an even playing field to get their hours, and we just don't feel that it's fair as students, because we're not competing with other NHS members. We're just trying to do good for the community that helped us be successful by being in that organization. So we just think that's something that we could look over and improve in the next few years. So.
Same case at Vernon Hills High School. Oftentimes the service opportunities that are eligible for hours are stuff like concessions, you know, things within the school, and I don't think that's what people signed up for when they applied for National Honor Society. You know, I think they wanted to go out in the community and, you know, find opportunities for themselves, and oftentimes those things aren't eligible for hours.
Because we were under the impression that it's an academic society that we can just give back to the community that helped us be successful, and the fact that they limit us to what everyone can contribute just doesn't seem fair to us, that we can go outside, and it would actually help us because we contribute outside, tutor places outside of school, and then it's just an incentive to do that because we go back, log our hours, and then we get to wear the gold ribbons at graduation. But so that's just what the people have been thinking.
Just as a response to that, I haven't talked to Dr. Sweet about it, but Mr. Alvin and I are meeting with NHS sponsors to discuss that, because I completely agree with what you're saying. And another thing I think is important is that you can also provide service hours to the school during the day.
Right.
You know, in tutoring capacity, which now it's only when it's, you know, it's only allowed after school. And
right.
That's your time too.
Yeah.
When you're giving up your lunch hour, I think that's just as great as after school. So we are working on that.
Perfect.
So I'm glad to hear that you're interested in that too.
Great, well, thank you. Nice dialogue tonight. Thanks, you guys. And just to back up, I did skip over the President's Report, which there is not a President's Report since Pat's not here, but just didn't want to leave that out. Next.
You know, third place may be more than okay. There were only 3 participants, it's okay. But
there were 13. Yeah,
there were 13 who came third. That's better than okay.
No, it's good.
It's just been gnawing at me.
We just there was a band that played before us that got in second. We just really thought that we played better, so it was kind of disappointing. But it was a fun time. So.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you. Wow, everybody's getting their good thoughts in tonight. And now we have our superintendent.
And it's
report,
all about
Dr. Lee.
supporting students, isn't it?
It is.
That's the
Great.
bottom line, isn't it? And that's the good news of the conversations. That's very good. Okay, first this evening from the superintendent is some good news, some additional good news. Following Libertyville High School students were named December Students of the Month. Sarah Key, Elise Coulterman, Jane Recker, Aspen Rep, Andrew Plunkett, Elliot Cole, Alexis Graham-Leal, Aiden Haverty Dennis, Aruj Ahmad, Maddie Christensen, Valentina Soro Teotis, and Ryan Dean. The following Vernon Hills High School students were named December Cougar Class Act Award winners: Nick McGrew, Katie Kinnear, Val Barry Benina, let me try that again, Val Barry Bina, Jordan Horwitz, Morgan Murphy, Alondra Aguilar, S.T. Armstrong, and Sam Malou. Congratulations to District 128 Director of Community Education and Grants, Diane Phillips, on receiving the Lake County Forest Preserve 2011 Gilman Award. Diane received the award at a reception held January 14th at Ryerson Woods. The Gilman Award is presented annually in recognition of outstanding service to Ryerson Woods. It is given to a volunteer who exemplifies the wonderful qualities of its namesakes, Irv and Sally Gilman. So congratulations to Diane. At the November board meeting, we were pleased to announce that District 128 was one of only 367 school districts in the United States and Canada to be named to the College Board's second annual Advanced Placement Honor Roll. The Honor Roll recognizes districts that have simultaneously increased access to advanced placement coursework while maintaining or increasing the percentage of students earning scores of 3 or higher on AP exams. Earlier today, we received posters from the College Board that announced this honor. We are happy to unveil them to the board this evening prior to hanging them in each of the high schools and at the D128 Administration Center. So, Mary, why don't you go ahead and unroll the banner, and when Ellen gets back, then we'll take a picture of Ellen and Marina with the banner together. So.
I've been practicing the banner. We thought it would be a little nicer if there had been orange on the bottom. It looked really right? They couldn't make it just for us. So,
really good. So that's very exciting.
Hard work on this, guys.
So we'll frame a few of those, one for each building, one for district office, and then we've got several additional copies that we'll be able to give to our college resource centers and different areas of the building. So very exciting to get that recognition. And that concludes the Superintendent's Good News Report. Next, we have a donation acknowledgement to Ms. Laura Wilson. And Laura donated a wool coat to the Libertyville High School Fine Arts Department for use in all of their programs there. So as always, we appreciate those donations. The board will note in their folder tonight that we had 2 FOIA requests this month. And next on the report is a brief update on LHS and VHHS swimming pool compliance. Our pool engineers continue to work very closely with IDPH engineers to work toward compliance. As we noted last month, we will submit the Vernon Hills pool first. It has the least amount of repairs involved with it based on the age of the pool. And then in parallel, we're working on the plans for the LHS pool, but we want to make sure that we go forward with one pool. We get one pool approved, we can make the repair, and then we can come back and work on approval on the second pool and make the required repairs. I want to note for the record again that IDPH has been very forthcoming and very willing to work with us. They have reviewed documents and diagrams, given us feedback, and we have a good back and forth with them. Also appreciate Jess and Joe's follow-up in working with us, with our engineers and IDPH on the compliance issues. So we should be in a position, and in a few short weeks, we're submitting the Vernon Hills pool. We've been told by IDPH we'll have a reasonable turnaround time on that now, which has been very true since my trip down there in early December, and we're looking forward to moving forward with both of those projects. Project Turf update. I'm pleased to announce tonight, at least from our end, at the Vernon Hills Park District unanimously approved the intergovernmental agreement with District 128 regarding the turf project at Vernon Hills High School. That will consist of a $100,000 contribution to the Project Turf efforts, and in return we will work with the Park District to ensure that they have fall and spring use of the field on Sunday for adult and other athletic leagues, and then 4 Fridays in the summer to use the field for culminating activities for some of their younger youth camps. So we believe it's a great agreement. The entire Vernon Hills Park District Board will be here at our February meeting where we will recommend adoption of the agreement. We'll have an opportunity to celebrate that together and that joint use of taxpayer dollars, which we think is really great. So we're very excited about that moving forward. Number 6, semi-annual review of closed session minutes. As the board is aware, about twice a year we go back and review all the closed session minutes and make any recommendations for releasing any of those minutes into the public domain. And this cycle we are recommending that we keep all of the closed session minutes closed at this time, and that would be our recommendation. So Denise will need a motion to do that, correct?
I make a motion that we keep the closed session records closed.
Does anyone have any, feel any need to review or discuss anything in those? Not then? Do you roll call?
Arthur?
Aye.
Batson?
Aye.
Delli Polly?
Aye.
Munstead?
Aye.
Mauer? Aye. Ratzer?
Aye.
Okay, great. And last on the superintendent's report this evening, you have a document in front of you as we continue to work with the Village of Libertyville on the notification deadline in the event that they would be giving the building back. As you recall from Pat's updates, the last couple of meetings, we're working with the village to work through the cost for asbestos and demolition in the event the building comes back to us and the board moves to take those 2 buildings down. So we're working to get an accurate cost estimate so we can finalize that agreement. So the village has asked us if we will go to April 1st, which we see no problem in doing. Rick and I, Rick's working closely with council from the village, and we continue to work with the leadership and administration at the village. So at this time, we would recommend that we extend the notification deadline to April 1 to allow us to more fully complete our work on defining the asbestos costs in the event of demolition.
Okay, so can we have a motion to propose, or for the notice of termination date to be extended to April 1st, 2012?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Any discussion? Roll call.
Batson?
Aye.
Delli Polly?
Aye.
Munstead?
Aye.
Mauer? Aye. Ratzer?
Aye.
Arthur?
Aye.
And Karen, that concludes the superintendent's
Great.
report.
Thank you. All right. And we'd like to offer the opportunity for anyone from the public to make comments this time. We do ask, well, first of all, is there anybody that
Sarah,
is interested in making
here's your
that?
chance,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Limited to 3 minutes. All right, well then we'll move on to our consent vote agenda. And we ask for a motion, may I have a motion to approve the consent vote agenda? We go there, right?
I make a motion that we approve the consent vote agenda.
Second.
Any discussion?
Delli Polly?
Aye.
Munstead?
Aye.
Mauer?
Aye.
Ratzer?
Aye.
Arthur?
Aye.
Batson?
Aye.
And now we move on to our Program and Personnel Committee, Chairperson Mauer.
Okay, first on that agenda, we have board policies 1 through 6. They are for a second reading and adoption. Nothing has changed since the first reading. We need a motion to approve those policies as presented.
Can I have a motion? Newman?
Second.
And roll call.
Munstead?
Aye.
Mauer?
Aye.
Ratzer?
Aye.
Arthur?
Aye.
Batson?
Aye.
Delli Polly?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have 2012-2013 curriculum guides. We're just going to give a little update on those. Both of those curriculum guides for Vernon Hills High School and Libertyville High School are finished. They look beautiful. Are they on the website yet? They are on the website, and so anyone out there wanting to just surf and view, enjoy yourselves. They're gorgeous. So special thanks to Deb Larson and her team for putting those together.
Right, yeah, Deb and both the teams at the high schools, and those are updated every year. And of course, for incoming freshmen, as well as our students who will be sophomores, juniors, and seniors next year, those are very important documents. So we do appreciate the work that they've done on them.
Next, we have educational tour requests. We have 3 trips to approve. So I'm looking for a motion to approve those.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mauer,
Aye.
Ratzer,
Aye.
Arthur,
Aye.
Batson,
Aye.
Delli Polly,
Aye.
Munstead.
Aye. Okay, and lastly, we would like a motion to approve the employment of employees as listed on the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Ratzer,
Aye.
Arthur,
Aye.
Batson,
Aye.
Delli Polly,
Aye.
Munstead,
Aye.
Mauer.
Aye.
Great, thank
Okay,
you
that
very much.
concludes the report.
And now we move on to our Facilities and Finance Committee report from Chairperson Arthur.
There are no items for vote this evening. I did want to point out, though, the 2 additional meetings that we have planned now for the long-range financial and asset management planning. One of them will be on Monday, January 30th, 7 p.m., district office. The second one will follow our February 13th F&F meeting and also be at the district office.
Okay, so that's a different location for our committee meetings. So being noted.
And just, Karen, one note before we go on. We periodically like to remind the public who watches this on television that our board does the yeoman's share of its work in committee, both on the program and personnel and finance and facilities. And we always welcome the public to join us at those meetings where we have often very deep and detailed discussion. And then we bring those recommendations of the committees forward at the board meeting where we can certainly have additional discussion if we need to. But we just like to point that out from time to time for people that don't know how the system works.
Thank you. Okay, and then we move on to our Property Committee. Superintendent Lee, is there anything?
There is no update from the Property Committee this evening.
Okay, in the Special Education District of Lake County, I have no report for that tonight either. And Illinois Association of School Boards, there's no report. So at this time, we would like to move into executive session. And I would like to ask for a motion to move into executive session.
So moved.
Second? Okay, and pardon me, I will state why. We won't be reviewing the closed session minutes, so we'll be hearing about the collective negotiation matters that have been going on. And that's it. Okay, so any discussion?
Arthur,
Aye.
Batson,
Aye.
Delli Polly,
Aye.
Munstead, Mauer, Ratzer.
Aye.
All right, and again, we will not be conducting any business after this.